It is said mental pain is less dramatic than physical pain, but is more common and also more hard to bear. The frequent attempt to conceal mental pain increase the burden. It is easier to say my tooth is aching than to say my heart is broken. Right in Kajiado County lies the beautiful Rongai town, a place that is known to be a home for people from all walks of life. Here, we meet up with Martha Wanjiru, commonly known as Shiro, who is a mother and currently a student at Desta University. According to the World Health Organization report, Kenya has been ranked 6th with the highest number of depression cases among African countries. It is also said life was meant for good friends and great adventures. I would rather walk with a friend in the dark than alone in the light. A good friend is like a four-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have. Through it all, Martha has decided to be positive, knowing that peace of mind is more important than anything else, and all she wants is the best for her children, hence a happy family.
I am Martha Wanjiru. I come from Nakuru, a place called Subukia, the beautiful hills, close to Subukia Shrine. And I am the 6th in a family of 10, and my parents are still there. And among the 10, one passed away. She's Esther. May her soul rest in peace. And I'm a proud mother of 3. The firstborn is in Form 3. She's Consolata Nyagudie. The secondborn is in class 6, going to class 7. She's a Skriva Wanjiku, and the thirdborn is a boy, Kasmir Ndumia. And to me, these are not just kids. Actually, they are angels. I don't call them kids. Kids is just making them just like normal. For me, they are angels. I value them. And in my life, I'll do everything to support them. I'm proud of them, and actually, I don't regret having them in my life. And I see them as mature kids. Actually, they are more than I expect from children. They are mature. They have been with me. They understand me. Though at some point we had to fall out because of my moods, but they are the best kids I have in my life. And I think everyone will be like, wow, I wish I had such kids.
I'm Consolata Wanjiru, a firstborn with 2 siblings, Kashmir and Escriva. I'm joining Form 4 in Bahati Girls Secondary School, Nakuru County.
My name is Alona Sian Lankas. I come from Narok, but we recently moved into another place. Martha is my friend. That's the most important thing. I just graduated the other day. I'm a cabin crew. But I'm also going to finish off my journalism course, of course. Yeah.
And being a mother of 3, it has been a life. And it's a life that hasn't been easy. I've gone through hardships since my childhood. I'm from a family of 10. We are 10 siblings. And I'm the 6th. And you imagine being the middle child, it comes with a lot of things going on. And I had my both parents. And in my life, I went through some kind of child distress. And unluckily, I didn't recover from that. And growing with that and going through traumas before 10 years, traumas that I couldn't share with people. I feared people, I feared my family. I was not open to them, I wasn't friendly to them. And I shared with no one because I even never trusted people. And even after the 10 years, still in that family, because I didn't connect. Maybe I was in the family, but I was just alone. And I went through most of the things. They were difficult for me, but I never shared. It even affected my Form 4. And after the Form 4, I got pregnant with my first daughter. It was kind of hard, even letting my parents know, and I knew it would be difficult because my dad wouldn't be happy about it because I was the first one. And even before that, there were things that I had seen at home that had traumatized me. And so having in mind all that, I knew things would be good. And the father of my kids, they didn't want anything to do with it. And I had to struggle. I had to do odd things. I had to go to the market, say, doing just the retail selling, and maybe I would get just a few coins enough to buy the soap and all that. And after that, I had my second born. That's in 2006. Yeah, in 2006, I had my second born. By that time, my first born was 4 years. Yeah, was 4 years, and she was in nursery school. And at this time, she was in nursery school. I didn't even have the fees, and sometimes my daughter would be chased away from school. And at some point, my dad would come in because he liked my daughter.
We met back in 2016. We were living at the same place, but by then I was in Multimedia University. Yeah, so how we met, it was just an incident. She was my next neighbor, so she used to borrow my broom, and I used to hack into her Wi-Fi. Yeah, so she used to complain like, kuna mtu ana hack Wi-Fi yangu. Na nikimpata, and I was like, what? Huyo tukimpata, sijui venye tutamfanyia, you know. And I was the one who used to hack into her Wi-Fi, of course, because I was like, okay, I'm a student. I can't use my data bundles while someone next door does not know how to manage their Wi-Fi. But for me, I see her as my mom, my elder sister, my aunt, I don't know, my best friend. She was older than me. The gap, I can't even mention it right now. But if you guys knew the kind of gap that I have with her, all of you are going to be amazed. But I think how we relate is because of how mature I am.
And when I had my second born when she was young and the first born was going to school, I had to find means to survive. And so one funny thing that makes me laugh all the time is I used to go to the neighborhood and ask for kibarua to do the weeding, but then I wasn't strong enough, and I remember I would put my second born just there lying and with an umbrella that the metal was sticking out, and it wasn't a full umbrella, but I didn't have a means, so that was the only thing I could have covered with her, and I had to do the kibarua like in 2 days I had to finish one. At the same time, this is a shame because it was in the neighborhood, and it's not the neighborhood that they are so well up. At some point I had a friend who kind of pitied the way I was living, and he asked me what was happening, and I had to share, and I didn't know that was my kind of opening. And through him, I got a lady who used to work at the Subukia Shrine, and she used to call me to do the vibaruas there. And the priest, now the friend, offered to pay my college fees because he could see I can make something else, not just doing those odd jobs. And he paid my computer packages fees, and I did them. Just after I finished, that lady who was working there, she was getting married, and she told me, can you work here? And I said, yes, I can work. And at that time, I remember I was struggling a lot. The priest asked me to talk to the father of the kids and see what he has in mind about taking care of the kids, so that if they have to come in, they know where to start. And that time I was tricked. I shared, but he tricked me. and that's how I end up getting my third born. But that story, I don't like sharing about it, whatever happened, but it was a trick. And eventually I got employed there, and I told them what happened, but they still kept me there, and I stayed there for one year. Yeah. When I went to school, it wasn't simple. I remember it's like 12 years after Form 4. So I would feel I'm the odd one out. I would see the kids, some of them, they are just 18, and I'm the oldest in class. At some point, I wanted to leave class, but one of the lecturers told me, no, you should train. And I emerged the best, actually. But through that time, I didn't know what I was going through, but my past was haunting me. And that's the point I started feeling like I can't make it. Now this was a challenge, being in school with young kids. And I felt I couldn't make it. My esteem went down. I didn't have confidence. And I couldn't even mingle with them so well. And also the pressure from home, these kids, and the providing for them and all that. And sometimes I used to leave class and go cry. Little did I know I was depressed.
She's so choosy, yeah. Those who are close to her can know that. She's very choosy. And the moment she told me that, you know, I do not talk to her simply because she talks a lot. And I'm like, God, am I not talkative, you know? We related in so many ways. And it took me time. It took me like a year and a half to realize that she had kids, you know? So her private life, she kept it so private. I never knew anything.
Before I came to understand mom's depression, I was very rebellious because I thought mom doesn't understand me. Hakuna, okay, like mi nimekaa kwa shosho sana. So I thought like for that time, she doesn't know me, she doesn't know what I like, she doesn't know anything. So I was so rebellious. She does this, I do the opposite. Until now when she told us, I understood, yes, and I changed. These days I'm cooperative. Yes, and for my siblings, I think they changed. Okay, for them they are always there, but wamekuwa wapole tena kiasi kuliko kitambo venye walikuwa.
I was pregnant with my second born. I was kind of depressed, and I almost had a miscarriage, and I was admitted at Nakuru Provincial General Hospital, and I was put on medication because of depression. And at some point they had to induce me because I would lose the kid, and I wasn't even strong, and psychologically I was not okay. And I don't know whether this could have caused the problem of my daughter, because the issue of the back, the spine, it just developed on itself. But it was not too much. I just noted that when she started taking her first steps, they were not just normal. She couldn't lift her heel. And all the time I went back to the hospital, they told me it's because she was born prematurely. And I thought, I'm still thinking even now, this might have been the cause of the spine problem.
The first time I saw her, you know, she was in rastas, she was in locks, and she was in dera all the time. So I used to ask my next neighbor, no, mother, like, ni Muislamu, mbona ni Muislamu ako na locks, mbona ni locks hazijafungwa na hijab, you know. So by the time I came to know her well, it took me a period, yeah? And then another thing, she knows that I don't care. The moment you show me, you show that you're interested to know me, that's when I open up. But the moment you don't, trust me, I won't even care. You might be suffering, you'll tell me, but there's nothing much you can do. Yeah, but for her, yeah, I just love her. And when Martha was going through whatever she was going through, You know, at times, I never really understood. You know, I'm young, I've not experienced so much, yeah? So I never understood. But she took a day, like I can remember a whole afternoon. She sat me and she explained everything that she has ever gone through in her life. And how I took it, I think it surprised her, because I was like, niyo tu? Okay. Sometimes she would go through so many stressful events and she will tell me, Lona, I do not feel like I want to talk to anybody. And I would push and ask, you think I'm anybody, you know? So I like it how we've connected through these many years. She knows me. She's the one who, okay, she can relate to everything that I go through. But one thing I like about her is because she is strong.
I went for my first counseling at that time. And the thing that drove me to that counseling is because when I started my classes in counseling, I found out that every lesson, every unit was touching a pain in my life. It was bringing up a memory. And at some point, I couldn't stay in class. Sometimes I would start crying in class, I wouldn't control it. I felt I clicked with my counselor. She was Jerusha Babu, and she counseled me for 8 sessions. At the start of the sessions, I would go to sessions, I wouldn't have anything to say. She would ask me how I'm faring, and I would just start crying. I would cry maybe halfway. And even she would ask me questions I don't want to answer, because once I answer, it brings a memory again, and I would start crying again. And we went through all that, and it wasn't an easy time for me during that counseling course. This now is the second counseling. I was feeling like I've done something, but still I was feeling like whenever they talk about something and touches my past, there's something that comes back to me. And after that counseling, I stayed for a time. That's in 2017. And by the end of 2017, that counseling was in June, May, June, and July. And in October, November, it was in November, in 2017, I fell sick, and really sick. And now at this time, this in 2017, I used to have those attacks so much. I would have those, they're like contractions in the chest, like 5 minutes, and they would disappear and they would leave me helpless. And they thought it was pneumonia, it was asthma, it was bronchitis. And at this time in November, it was too much for me. And I would go to Nairobi West, they confirmed I had asthma, they gave me inhalers, they gave me the most strongest antibiotics, it wasn't working for me. I was advised to go for counseling. Remember, I had gone for 2 counseling, now this is the third one I'm supposed to go. And I was recommended a doctor, and I'm with that doctor for now. And after some sessions, the doctor had to share with me a lot about the traumas, and I opened up. That's the first person I opened up about the traumas, and I felt it was like I was skinning myself, because those are the things that I've kept behind my back, behind there in my mind. I buried them, and at some point some memories just came. A memory that something happened, and I just covered it that day, and it never came back to me. And through him, I managed to let my memories flow, but it wasn't a simple thing. When I had to do my narration, at some point, I would even beat myself when those memories, those hidden memories came back to me.
I like it how she reacts to things. Yeah, like ata if right now okay, for example, if I walk somewhere and a drunk man comes attacks me, I won't do anything, because at the end of the day I know that mother has done taekwondo, she will handle the whole thing, you know. Right now, even if a tout just came and ichokoze, imagine I don't even react. I just tell them, I just relax, because I know mother is there, you know. She will just do anything, yeah. She's the kind of person who does anything for her friend. The moment the two of you connect, she'll be there with you through thick and thin. That is one thing I like about her. And I like it when people do not believe that she has kids, you know. Because one day we were walking, me, her, and her daughter, and you know, these bad boys came, wakaanza kutuchokoza and all that, kutukatia. And you know how mother was like, hapana, jifanyeni, you know. So until the dudes came and tried to force things, that is when she reacted. But before that, she was telling us, anaitisha nini namba, mpea kiatu, mpea waist, mpea, you know. Yani, I like it how she's overprotective.
I went back to my mom. I was still thinking about myself. And I asked her a question. It was a complicated question, but I had to phrase it in a wish. I don't know. I didn't even know what I wanted to know, but I only knew it was about my childhood. And I didn't have to put it so direct. And I asked her, Mom, why was my childhood the way it was? And why did I have to go all through what I went through? We were in the kitchen and my mom just looked at me and turned, and tears were running down her eyes. And she told me there are also a lot of things she can't understand. And at that point, when I saw her shed tears, I felt a lot of pain. I felt pain because I didn't know my mom was carrying my pain all through. I thought I was suffering alone. And I felt I couldn't ask her much about it because it's like I touched a wound and I wouldn't know how to heal her.
One thing that I'll never forget is what she taught me. She once asked me that before you let a man sweep you off your feet, ask yourself if the man is ready to catch you when you fall, you know? Okay, it might not sound so deeply to others, but to me, it means a lot, you know? Because I also come from a single parent family, and how my mom has brought us up, it's just amazing. Because she's the mom, she's the dad, she has to be there emotionally, spiritually, you know? These embarrassing questions that girls have, the mother is the one who should be there to answer them, you know? And I like it how she takes things. Yeah, and just the other day when she was going through her major depression, she told me that, Lona, you know, this is what I'm going through. So at least she made me understand what first depression is. She made me research on that so that at least if anything happened to her, I will know how it's supposed to be managed, you know? Yeah, and yeah, I just love her.
So for me, I changed. Yes, and I'm ready to support her for her to finish the depression and become normal again. We live a normal life because it's like see normal life kama kitambo. So I just pray for her she will get well as soon as possible. Yes, and God will help me overcome it. Yes.
Depression is not a simple thing. Sometimes, and not even sometimes, many people think that for one to be depressed, you're holding things in your mind, and some people tell you it's all in your mind. You have to stop thinking negative, and rarely do they understand that when you're depressed, you can't control yourself. In all this, there was one main thing that was holding me, that was holding my pain, that was holding my memories. I hated my family. I had too much pain towards my family. I had too much pain, too much anger towards men. And I decided that it's me who is holding this. These people don't even know what I hold against them. And now that I'm over 30, I've held all this. And these are the things that have been holding me down. Those are the things that have caused me tears in my whole life. At that time, I was doing my meditation, and I decided I think I should come to an end. And I told myself, it's time you forgive your parents. I do a lot of self-talking, and I told myself, Martha, you have to forgive your family, your parents, your siblings, everyone around you. And I may be holding some pain, but maybe they wasn't there, and maybe they were not even aware whether they were doing wrong to me. And through my counseling through Dr. Kasakala, I found out that I have lived that young girl who was 10 years. I stagnated in that. So even when I became an adult, I had that mentality and the attitude of that small girl. And I decided it's time to grow. So I just left the house. I went to a nearby Catholic church, and I asked for a priest, and I told him I want to make a confession, and a funny one. And he said it's okay. And so I told the priest, I've decided to forgive myself for holding grudges, for holding pains, and for torturing myself about things that have happened in my life. I've decided to forgive my family. I was in their family, but I felt alone. I've decided to forgive them. Most people who are depressed, that's all we need. You need people around you. You need people to kind of, they don't have to understand you, but they have to be there for you. And I give credit even to my parents, even if there were issues, because they've never pushed me away. Actually, I think it was me who was pushing myself away from them because of the attitudes I have.